The tale commences as an individual addresses a gathered crowd, declaring that the awaited moment has arrived and enlisting their collective participation in a countdown from 5 seconds. As the countdown ensues, a man enveloped in a blue aura and clad in a hoodie quivers, gazing at his trembling hands, muttering that he has returned to a time before he became ensnared in this accursed game. He reveals that he had reached the 20th round and harbors a desire to halt time if possible. A display indicates that the rune of regression has been exhausted, its use is depleted at 100 out of 100. With a resolute gaze, the man asserts that since this is his final opportunity, he is determined to conclude this game. To achieve this, he must assemble 4 companions for the ultimate round, pondering aloud who among them would be suitable, as he removes his hood and fixes his gaze upon a particular individual. Several minutes earlier, a man sporting a smug expression stands amidst his friends, who excitedly chatter about impending adulthood. Another individual in their midst questions whether they still need to maintain pretenses, to which the reply is an enthusiastic negation. Donned in a black jacket, one of the group muses aloud about post-graduation plans, entertaining the idea of becoming a delivery man. Glancing back, he queries Yeongmin about his aspirations, prompting Yeongmin to respond with a smug smile, stating his intention to become a gangster, as if it hadn't been previously discussed. His companions react with disbelief and concern, cautioning him about the potential dire consequences. When questioned about the seriousness of his statement, Yeongmin retorts that life is fleeting, and he simply desires to live it on his own terms, consequences notwithstanding. Privately, his friends contemplate cutting ties with him after graduation, deeming him reckless and derogatorily labeling him a retard. The man in the black jacket queries Yeongmin about the fate of his personal shuttles upon graduation, referring to the MC. Yeongmin retorts that he can't let go of that bastard even after graduating. One of his friends sarcastically comments on the situation, suggesting that the MC probably assumed everything would conclude after graduation. With a malicious grin, Yeongmin counters, implying that it's far from over and that he intends to keep playing with the MC as long as possible. As the group focuses their attention on the MC, someone initiates a countdown from 5. Yeongmin, with a smug expression, locks eyes with the MC, who responds with a cold, determined gaze, irritating Yeongmin. He questions the MC's unusual demeanor, but the countdown ends with the crowd cheering for the new year. Yeongmin, visibly agitated, demands to know why the MC is glaring at him, while a friend advises him to let it go, reminding him it's the first day of the new year. Another friend reassures him that there will be other opportunities for revenge. Eventually, Yeongmin decides to postpone his retaliation for the day. The group celebrates, remarking on their newfound adulthood and exchanging New Year's greetings. Amidst their conversation, a voice interrupts, observing the fascination of humans celebrating the new year without understanding their circumstances. Confused, Yeongmin asks if one of his friends made the comment, but they nervously deny it. Suddenly, an angel appears, commenting on the spectacle of humans behaving like ignorant monkeys in a cage. Some speculate on the nature of the angel, while others suggest it might be part of a New Year's event on TV. One individual, near the MC, expresses a chilling realization that if someone were to claim this scenario as real hell, they would believe it. While the others are captivated by the angel's beauty, the MC looks up, expecting her appearance and silently expressing his enduring disdain, despite having endured this cycle 99 times before. The angel chuckles derisively, likening humans to mere trash and scoffing at their infatuation with her appearance. She bluntly declares that it's best if they refrain from entertaining useless thoughts because she has no interest in associating with what she perceives as inferior beings. Leaning down toward the crowd, she rests her chin on her palm, asserting her certainty that they can all hear her, given their stunned reactions. A man in the crowd, looking up at the angel, incredulously questions her identity, wondering if she's merely a cosplaying enthusiast, and demands an explanation for her ramblings. Meanwhile, the MC, observing the unfolding events, expresses disappointment at the situation. The angel, her smile vanishing, directs a glare at the man with a crimson eye, finding his persistence annoying. In a swift motion, the man's head is obliterated, blood splattering in all directions, sending shockwaves through the onlookers who scream and flee in terror. Enraged by the man's insolence, the angel points accusingly at the crowd, questioning how a lowly human dared to speak so informally to her divine presence. Switching her tone, she asserts her authority, warning the crowd against arrogance if they wish to avoid meeting a similar fate. Spreading her wings above the trembling crowd, she demands their attention, insisting that they listen carefully as she prepares to elucidate the unfolding events. The MC, having heard the angel's explanation countless times before, is now bored with the repetition. As the angel continues her discourse, she announces the commencement of a game, 20 rounds, taking place on the 1st of every month, wherein participant souls will be transported to a new dimension to undertake quests. Completing these quests earns rewards and the chance to return to the real world. Amidst the confusion of the crowd, questions linger in their minds: will completing the quests ensure their survival? In response, the angel coldly states that even quest completion won't guarantee survival, as she intends to spare only half of the participants, based on their order of completion. She reassures them that only individuals aged 15 to 29 will be involved, prompting relief from those outside the specified age range, much to the chagrin of the younger participants. The angel reveals the staggering number of participants: 1,801,029,290, before instructing them to prepare for soul transfer by shaping their bodies in their individual spaces. Participants are allowed to customize their appearance, with the caveat that this opportunity is their only chance, urging them to choose wisely. In his own space, the MC, known as Black Scythe, opts for familiarity, maintaining his appearance from previous rounds. As he's transported into the game world for the 100th time, he reflects on the sense of ownership he feels over his appearance, unchanged since the 12th iteration. Meanwhile, other participants join, astonished by their avatar's appearance, uncertain if their designs will translate accurately. Unfazed, the MC remarks on their vanity, warning that conspicuous appearances make one an easier target in a world where the strong prey on the weak, emphasizing the grim consequence: death in the game means death in reality. As expected, Gwang Yo-min arrives, showcasing his buffed-up avatar, drawing a nonchalant response from the MC. The angel appears, noting the participants' approval of their new avatars, albeit with expressions of fear, which she begrudgingly admits amuses her. She identifies the participants from Seoul, totaling 1,802,910 individuals, before growing impatient with their questions, asserting that there are other spaces managed by different angels conducting their own rounds. Calming herself, the angel proceeds with an official announcement, instructing the participants to mentally invoke their status window. They comply, including the MC, revealing his real name as Ryumin and his nickname as Black Scythe, a revelation that leaves him disheartened. The angel elaborates, reminding them that their current stats are inadequate, likening them to trash in gaming terms. Encouraging them to become stronger, she outlines the stakes: survival through 20 rounds grants freedom from the game and the fulfillment of a wish. Smirking, she reveals a gift for the first-place finisher. Yo-min, intrigued, accesses his inventory, discovering a random rune. The angel explains its single-use nature, clarifying that it can only be activated at level 1 and is the sole item granted at the game's outset. Detailing its usage, she instructs the participants to hold the rune and mentally command its activation. Judging the participants' discontent, the angel reiterates the inevitability of their circumstances, emphasizing the role of luck in their outcomes. With a snap of her fingers, she transitions the focus to the main event, a glowing window materializing before them, detailing their quest to vanquish 100 goblins each. As the goblins materialize, participants remark on the game-like quality of the survival challenge. Expanding her wings, the angel cautions against premature excitement, revealing that more goblins are yet to be summoned. Shocked by the overwhelming numbers, the participants are met with the angel's meticulous smile as she announces a showdown: 10,000 humans against 50,000 goblins. As chaos ensues and goblins charge, panic spreads among the participants. Amidst the turmoil, the MC steps forward, defying expectations. Bewildered, one participant questions his actions, expressing concern for his safety. Ignoring the warnings, the MC charges into the fray, unleashing a swift and decisive attack, sending a goblin hurtling through the air with a powerful kick to the head. When you're part of a group, the initial impression you make is crucial. The MC understands this well. He must etch the image of his power into the minds of the participants to avoid being overwhelmed. It's imperative that he captures the attention of the angel. This necessitates a performance. As he tightens his grip on his dagger, the MC effortlessly dispatches the incoming goblins, eliciting awe from onlookers who liken his demeanor to that of a seasoned special agent. Some remark on his coolness, while others belittle the goblins as mere weaklings in the game. Amidst these discussions, a goblin abruptly interrupts, viciously attacking a nearby participant before anyone can react. Shocked players witness the gruesome scene as the goblin's dagger slices through the man's stomach, sending the group into a panic. As chaos ensues, the MC continues to fend off the goblin horde, but the other players, now overwhelmed and defenseless, are swiftly dispatched one by one. Faced with the grim reality of their situation, terror-stricken screams echo through the air as they desperately plead for aid. In this inferno, it's abundantly clear that this is no longer a mere game. Survival is the singular focus. The primal urge to live overrides all other thoughts, leading participants to flee aimlessly, consumed by the instinct to endure. MC, having learned from fatal errors, understands the inescapable reality of this dimension only after facing death twice. As MC elucidates the dire circumstances, one participant, in a panicked attempt to escape, collides with an unseen barrier. Bewildered, she queries its nature, prompting another to futilely attack a goblin. Yet, the truth dawns: modern individuals, unaccustomed to the hunt, are ill-equipped to combat such foes. Despite this, survival demands they transcend these limitations. In the midst of the relentless conflict between humans and goblins, an observing angel finds amusement in the spectacle. With a smirk, she jests about the humans' futile struggle against the diminutive yet formidable foes, especially when armed only with daggers. However, upon noticing MC, her demeanor shifts, and she questions his significance. A glance at his stats reveals his alias an impressive goblin slaying tally. Disappointed by the restricted information, she laments the system's limitations, concealing crucial player data beyond quest progression. Dismissing the system interface, the angel contemplates the curious nature of mortal participants, reluctantly acknowledging her unexpected intrigue in their struggles. Meanwhile, as MC dispatches his 75th goblin adversary, he is rewarded with gold and experience points, further enhancing his prowess in this unforgiving realm. Dodging an incoming goblin's attack with a fluid motion, MC assesses the charging horde to his right. Effortlessly, he maneuvers through their ranks, dispatching each foe with precision. As he cleanses his dagger of bloodstains, he swiftly charges at another goblin, ending its life with a decisive strike. With a radiant red eye, MC confronts the remaining goblins, prompting them to reconsider their next move. Their trembling fear serves as a testament to his prowess, allowing him a moment to collect himself. Consulting the status window, he notes his ascent to level 4, allocating all gained stat points to agility. Emphasizing the importance of agility, he strategizes, confident that his rapid progress will pique the angel's interest and potentially lead to intervention. As a horde advances, MC swiftly hurls his dagger, striking down one goblin and causing the rest to falter. Their hesitation fuels his determination as he challenges them, but their frozen state forces him to act decisively. With a resigned sigh, he swiftly dispatches them, resolved to take matters into his own hands if they won't engage. In a fluid motion, he eliminates the frozen goblins, reaping rewards of gold and experience points. A screen appears, signaling the completion of the quest to slay 100 goblins and marking the end of the first round. Surrounded by a luminous aura, MC reflects on his effortless triumph, driven by his ambition to capture the angel's attention and secure the top rank. Another window emerges, commending MC on achieving rank 1 in completing the quest within the designated zone and across all zones, accomplished in a mere 10 minutes and 21 seconds. The sooner a quest of the round is completed, the more favorable the rewards, as they are granted according to rank up to 3rd place. Achieving rank 1 in his designated zone, MC receives the lowest rank rare weapon selection coupon. Rewards are allocated separately for the designated zone and across all zones, and for securing rank 1 across all zones, MC is granted a special reward selection box, offering him more favorable rewards than others. MC decides to utilize the weapon selection choice for the designated zone, prompting a window to appear with 3 options: a blue-edged longsword, a stiletto, or a javelin. Grateful for the opportunity, MC selects the stiletto, a rare weapon with an attack power of 15. Discarding his previous dagger, MC opts to save the special reward selection box for later use before closing the status window. However, before proceeding further, MC recalls receiving a title earlier, one he had never encountered in his past 99 attempts. Opening the status window once more, he retrieves the rune associated with the title and activates it. As the rune disintegrates, a window screen emerges, revealing that MC has utilized a random rune fragment and acquired the rune of regression, which will be imprinted on his body. The screen further indicates that remnants of the rune are detected within the player's soul, but the imprint has failed due to the rune's inherent traits. Expecting this outcome, MC remarks that the results were foreseeable, as a new imprint would have enabled infinite regression. As the system finishes imprinting the rune, it notes that the remnants detected within MC's soul confirm this as his 100th regression. It then bestows upon him the title a last-time regresser, leaving MC momentarily stunned. In this game, titles serve as superordinate concepts of runes, and thus, the more challenging they are to obtain, the greater their effects. Moreover, while the resurrection typically exists solely as a priest skill, and even then, only restoring up to 30% of health, MC's title grants him full health upon resurrection. Overwhelmed with joy, MC smiles, acknowledging that he has acquired something truly remarkable. As the MC stumbles upon this incredible title, they instinctively opt to conceal it by selecting the private option on their screen. Yet, to their surprise, the title's effects persist even in privacy mode, though it won't be publicly displayed under their username. Stretching leisurely, the MC muses that players who've completed the quest should be emerging by now, pondering how Yomin is faring. Scanning the surroundings, they catch sight of Yomin brandishing a dagger behind a player under attack by a goblin. With a wry smirk, the MC notes that Yomin seems destined to survive once again. Meanwhile, as the remaining players wrap up their quests, the angelic overseer gazes down, perplexed by the sudden monotony. She observes the dwindling numbers of players, now nearly balanced with the goblins. With a sigh, she acknowledges her oversight and ponders whether to inject more excitement. One player, cradling a fellow player in their arms, tears streaming down their face, queries the angel about her cryptic suggestion to make it more fun, just as the person in their grasp begins to glow and then vanishes inexplicably. Bewildered, the player gazes downward, witnessing the disappearance of all the deceased. Before any questions can be voiced, the angel conjures more goblins, eliciting startled reactions from the players. As the goblins materialized, they immediately surged toward the remaining players, instilling fear and panic among them. Amidst maniacal laughter, the angelic overseer gleefully announced that she had generously provided a free 50,000 goblin refill, adding to the chaos. Hesitant and weary, the players grasped their daggers and charged at the horde of goblins. However, the goblins quickly surrounded them, making it increasingly difficult to land any decisive blows. As more players joined the fray, the system notified them that 1,021 individuals had successfully cleared the quest out of 5,143 participants. Meanwhile, Yo-Min, holding another player hostage, found himself besieged by goblins. With time passing, more players managed to dispatch goblins, and the system updated the tally to 2,129 players out of 5,143 clearing the quest. Meanwhile, MC, having completed their quest, sat quietly within the barrier, observing as another player was helpless to save their friend from the goblins' onslaught. The system announced once more that 3,533 individuals out of 5,143 had cleared the quest. Noticing the angel's genuine amusement, MC regarded her with a determined gaze, recognizing her enjoyment amidst the chaos. As more people finished their quests, a glowing barrier surrounded them, and the system announced that 5,143 out of 5,143 had cleared the quest. Players who hadn't yet finished panicked, questioning why the goblins had suddenly disappeared. Observing the system's announcement of quest completion, the angel noted that now half of the players had passed, indicating the quest's fulfillment. However, she somberly stated that the remaining players had to perish, following the game's rules. Shocked and desperate, the players pleaded for explanations and second chances, to no avail. Slowly, those who hadn't completed the quest began to vanish, leaving the survivors speechless and bewildered. Addressing the dismayed players, the angel questioned their lack of happiness at being alive, reminding them that survival was an achievement. Congratulating the survivors on passing the first round, she encouraged them to strive for better results in the next round. Reviewing the detailed results, the system displayed Black Side's impressive first-place finish with a time of 10 minutes and 21 seconds, followed by Stupid Idiots in second with 16 minutes and 15 seconds, and Heavenly Demon in third with 17 minutes and 7 seconds. Another system screen revealed that Black Scythe maintained first place across all areas. A notification appeared in front of MC, declaring that they had cleared the quest and rewarding them with 1,000 gold for use in the shop, accessible upon reaching level 10. As other players stared at MC in awe of his achievements, he couldn't help but smirk, relishing the attention now that everyone knew he was in first place. Impressed by his performance, the angel in charge of his area approached him, marveling at his strength and inquiring about any special runes he might have obtained. Before she could finish her sentence, however, she caught herself, biting her lip. Looking up at her, MC casually asked if she couldn't discern his runes from his status window, to which the angel, somewhat shaken, hastily affirmed that she could. With a smile, MC inwardly scoffed at her response. Then, MC called out to the angel, asking if he could request a favor, leaving her momentarily flabbergasted. She questioned what he meant by a favor, and MC explained that he found the rewards for achieving first place to be insufficient. His boldness shocked all the survivors, even the angel herself. With a visibly angered expression, the angel demanded to know what MC had just said. Unfazed, MC calmly stated that he desired a better reward and expressed his dissatisfaction with the one he received. As MC stood his ground, everyone present was rendered speechless by his audacity, including the angel. Internally seething at the human's arrogance, the angel contemplated her options. While she couldn't simply eliminate him for his insolence due to her limited authority, a glimmer of mischief crossed her mind. Admitting she couldn't kill him outright, she instead proposed a compromise, acknowledging that such requests were typically denied outright. Descending to the ground, she informed MC that she needed time to consider his request and suggested they speak privately, instructing the others to wait until they returned. As MC and the angel made their way toward the forest, the other players were stunned by MC's audacity in negotiating with an angel. Some wondered if such negotiations were even possible, while others pondered if they, too, should demand better rewards. A few speculated that only those in first place, like Black Scythe, had the privilege to make such requests. Amidst the envy and speculation, MC paused in front of Yomin, fixing him with a fierce glare that left him utterly bewildered. With a smirk, MC continued following the angel, leaving Yomin puzzled in his wake. In the forest, the angel questioned why MC kept his distance, insisting he stay close. Gritting her teeth, she inwardly cursed the perceived stupidity and greed of humans, frustrated by the constant need to reiterate instructions. She lamented her lack of power to change rewards, acknowledging that even if she could, she wouldn't grant MC a better reward. As they walked, she shot a sidelong glance at MC, silently vowing to teach him a lesson for his greed. As they approached a rock in their path, the angel quietly resolved to end MC's life once they passed it. However, she quickly reconsidered the consequences of killing a player for personal reasons, realizing it could lead to complaints about fairness and even blame from higher authorities, potentially ruining the game. With a grimace, she acknowledged the need to eliminate any potential witnesses to her actions. Baring her teeth in frustration, she mused that MC should have kept quiet. Turning her gaze back to MC, she questioned him about the reward he desired. Before she could finish her sentence, MC suddenly lashed out, striking her squarely on the cheek with his fist. Stunned, the angel staggered backward, crashing to the ground as she struggled to make sense of the sudden turn of events. As the angel was struck squarely in the face, she collapsed to the ground, MC standing emotionless behind her. Staring at the golden blood flowing from her nose, she couldn't fathom what was unfolding, questioning if a mere human had delivered the blow. With a stream of curses directed at MC, she attempted to rise, ready to retaliate, but he had vanished without a trace. In a blink, he reappeared behind her, seizing her wings as she struggled to comprehend the sudden assault. Despite her cries of pain, MC remained impassive, tearing at her wings mercilessly. As she writhed in agony, he callously removed her left wing, admonishing her for her supposed theatrics. With a foot pressed on her shoulders, he cruelly tore away her right wing, leaving her helpless and screaming in pain on the ground. Gazing down at her wingless form, MC remarked that now she wouldn't escape without her wings. Meeting his gaze through tear-filled eyes, she reluctantly admitted to the pain, to which MC cynically recalled her earlier laughter. Confused and suffering, the angel demanded answers from MC, only to be silenced as he revealed a hidden dagger within her wing, intended for his demise. Stunned and enraged, she clenched her teeth, grappling with the betrayal unfolding before her. Observing her reaction, MC flung the wing aside, asserting that he knew her true intentions. In a futile attempt to defend her innocence, Brielle insisted she never harbored thoughts of harming him, but MC cut her off, claiming he could read her intentions plain as day, addressing her by name, Brielle. Startled by the revelation, she demanded to know how he knew her name, but MC brushed off her inquiry, asserting it was none of her concern as he retrieved his dagger from the system. Confounded by the unfolding events, Brielle questioned MC's actions and his sudden display of a weapon. He retorted, asking if she couldn't deduce his intentions. Attempting to assert her authority, Brielle threatened MC with the power to make him suffer, but he swiftly dismantled her bravado, reminding her she no longer possessed such abilities, further stoking her fury. In a fit of rage, Brielle shouted at MC, warning him of the consequences and vowing her fellow angels would avenge her. MC, however, scoffed at her proclamation, questioning the loyalty of her so-called comrades, dismissing them as selfish beings who wouldn't bat an eye at her demise. As MC declared it was time for her demise, Brielle trembled but defiantly warned him of the futility of her death, insisting it would not benefit him. Unmoved, MC coldly dismissed her concerns, stating it was not for her to decide, a fact she should be well aware of. Attempting one final intimidation tactic, Brielle cautioned him about the consequences of killing her, implying it would impede his return home. With indifference, MC revealed that their return was automatic, a fact that seemed to surprise Brielle. Despite her offer to share information in exchange for sparing her life, MC, holding up his dagger, declined, stating he already possessed all the necessary information obtained through her torture. He revealed her role as a mere pawn, tasked solely with guiding others, shocking Brielle with the depth of his knowledge about her. Before she could comprehend the extent of his insight, MC lunged at her, delivering a swift, fatal blow without remorse. As her lifeless body fell to the ground, the system announced MC's historic deed, being the first player to slay an angel. With this accomplishment, he earned the title of the first ever Angel Slayer, along with the angel's blood as a reward for his unprecedented feat. MC, seizing the rewards, felt a surge of relief realizing he had once again claimed the title of the first Angel Slayer. Among the rewards was the Rune of Slaughter, which the system announced would be automatically sealed to his body upon use. MC was well acquainted with these rewards, having encountered them since his 13th iteration. Each reward was akin to a unique item, and this time, he had secured the Rune of Slaughter. The system explained that this title bestowed upon the bearer the ability to double their stats when facing divine opponents. MC smirked, satisfied with the outcome and the rewards. He mused aloud, anticipating the shock of the angels when they discovered he possessed a rune. Among the rewards, the angel's blood stood out as the most significant, categorized as a one-time use item with the unique effect of transforming the user's class into a Grim Reaper. MC pondered the implications of this transformation, knowing that changing classes was typically achievable at level 10, and there were 30 different job options. However, obtaining class-changing items was usually a natural progression during hunts or under specific conditions. Yet, there were exceptions, unique items attainable by only one individual under particular circumstances, offering unparalleled benefits such as bonus stats, skill options, and more. Despite returning without completing the final round, MC resolved to strive for first place in all zones. With 3 rewards at his disposal, he selected the triple EXP buff exclusive to the second round, emphasizing the urgency of reaching level 10 to unlock the ability to change classes. With determination in his eyes, MC turned his focus to the journey ahead, poised to conquer new challenges and unlock the full potential of his newfound rewards. As this marked his final chance to regress and start anew, MC knew he couldn't evade the challenge any longer. He had to grow stronger, no matter the cost. As he watched the angel vanish, the system declared the end of the first round, revealing the staggering number of survivors, 900,514,645 across all areas, with 5,143 in MC's vicinity. The system announced the imminent transfer of players' souls back to their original bodies, with the second round scheduled for February 1st. Yeomin, suddenly jolting back to his original body in Bosingak, looked around in confusion. Puzzled, he questioned if everyone else had experienced the same blackout. As others groggily regained consciousness, complaints about headaches and soreness filled the air. Yeomin shared his suspicion with his friends, noting the eerie correlation between the duration of their dream and the time on his phone. His friends, equally bewildered, questioned if it was all real and if they would have to return on February 1st. Uncertain and unnerved by the surreal experience, they contemplated the possibility that what they had just endured was more than just a dream. Yeong-min, noticing his friend lying motionless on the ground, grew concerned and questioned why he wouldn't wake up. His friends, equally alarmed, attempted to rouse him to no avail, resorting to shaking him vigorously. As they turned him onto his back, they recoiled in horror, placing a trembling hand on his face to check for signs of life. With a trembling voice, one of them declared that he wasn't breathing and felt no pulse. Yeong-min, wearing a smug expression, inquired if he was dead, prompting a wave of fear among his companions. As the realization sank in, they surveyed their surroundings, realizing that all those who hadn't awakened were lifeless bodies. Dread crept over them as they realized only half had survived, and they dreaded the thought of the next round. In contrast, Yeong-min's demeanor shifted dramatically as excitement surged through him. Ignoring the fear gripping his friends, he exclaimed in exhilaration, declaring the situation to be awesome. In the midst of his excitement, he reflects inwardly that whether one is born with a silver spoon or not, survival is the common denominator, rendering futile any lamentations about life's perceived injustices. Urging his companions to compose themselves, he reassures them that mere survival is the primary objective, prompting him to question the source of their anxieties. His shaken friend interjects, deeming the situation unfair and expressing regret over unfulfilled experiences. Interrupting, Yeong-min counters that everyone is grappling with the same challenges, challenging the notion of unfairness. Observing his friend's disdainful glances, he is silently labeled a lunatic. The bold companion remarks that, given Yeong-min's past as a thug, he wouldn't perceive his own demise as unjust, contrasting his own aspirations. Catching Yeong-min's gaze, he questions his focus, to which Yeong-min dismisses any connection, claiming the person is no longer present. The bold friend jests, suggesting the person might be Yeong-min's personal errand boy. In his thoughts, Yeong-min ponders the person's whereabouts and recalls seeing MC before losing consciousness, speculating about MC's fate. Unfazed, he comments that someone like MC, a perceived loser, likely wouldn't have survived. After finishing his thought, he catches sight of someone clad in a garish chest plate and wonders about the person's identity and the origin of their tacky attire. Disbelieving what he just witnessed, a memory jogs his mind, and he murmurs, "Status window," prompting the system to materialize before him, displaying his in-game stats. Surprised by this unexpected turn, he is taken aback that the status window actually manifested. His friends, intrigued by his exclamation, echo "status window," and to their amazement, their own screens appear too. Yeong-min questions his friend's puzzled expression, only to receive the same inquiry in return, with the revelation that they can only view their respective status screens. One of them wonders if they could utilize it in real life from the beginning, while the other speculates about the functionality of stats and items. Eager to test the theory, Yeong-min picks up a pebble and crushes it with his grip, astonished as it transforms into grains of sand. Sporting a devilish grin, he exclaims once again how awesome the discovery is. Later, a news reporter solemnly recounts an astonishing event from that morning. Approximately 10,000 citizens lost consciousness during the bell-tolling ceremony at the plaza facing the Bosingak Pavilion in the Jongro area. Urging viewers to witness the footage, she describes an unidentified woman, resembling an angel, appearing above the pavilion and addressing the crowd. Suddenly, a man points at her and utters something, only to be instantly killed in a mysterious explosion. Following this, the woman extends her hand towards the crowd, resulting in the collapse of around 10,000 individuals. Police reports indicate that those affected were primarily aged between 15 and 29, with similar incidents occurring across 128 other countries. As MC scrolls through the inundation of comments on the news, he reflects that the anticipated event had begun, but this is merely the initial phase. While articles detail the deaths, he acknowledges that the actual issue lies elsewhere. Observing the news screen, he notes the transfer of players' abilities into reality and the absence of individuals with notably high stats currently. He explains that the current lack of impact is due to players' abilities not being significantly developed yet. However, as players level up, they will ascend to become transcendental beings, birthing literal human weapons that surpass even state-of-the-art weaponry and military might. MC has no intention of remaining passive as the world spirals into chaos, recognizing that Earth could be destroyed before even reaching round 20 if he does. He sees only one viable path forward, to assert control over all players with overwhelming force. However, achieving this requires a different approach from his previous life. In his past experiences, he needed 5 players to open the boss room, but now he has a few candidates in mind and has devised strategies to recruit them as allies. Yet, it's not yet time to execute his plans, because he has more pressing tasks at hand. Upon arriving home, MC notices something amiss as he opens the door, realizing that someone had opted for instant noodles for dinner once again. Venturing further into the house, he discovers his younger brother, Raiwan, fast asleep. With a gentle smile, he remarks on Raiwan's deep slumber despite his absence. Raiwan, in his 3rd year of middle school, is now under MC's sole guardianship after their parents tragically passed away in a car accident, marking a significant shift in their once normal family dynamic. As MC reflects on their changed circumstances, he notices the plaster on Raiwan's bruised hand coming loose and tenderly readjusts it with a heavy heart. With a sigh, he flicks on the light, rousing his brother from sleep. Rubbing his eyes, Raiwan checks the time on his phone, informing MC that it's only 6 a.m. However, MC interrupts his brother's drowsy musings by swiftly pulling off his blanket, urging him that they can't afford to waste any more time. Raiwan, still groggy, inquires about the urgency, prompting MC to promise to explain everything, but insists that Raiwan change his clothes first as they need to depart. With a tired yawn, Raiwan asks where they're headed, suggesting he'd prefer to catch a few more winks if it's just to watch the sunrise. With a calm voice, MC urges Raiwan to listen attentively, emphasizing that now is not the time for peaceful slumber, considering the chaotic state of the world. Confused, Raiwan mentions MC's attendance at the bell-tolling ceremony and inquires if something significant occurred. MC suggests they continue the conversation outside while walking, prompting them to step out of the house and stroll side by side. As they walk in silence, Raiwan notices the gravity of MC's demeanor, pondering the severity of the situation that has clearly unsettled his brother. Startling him, MC questions if Raiwan is oblivious to the recent world events. Shaken, Raiwan asks why MC seems so ominous and if something transpired while he slept. Leading Raiwan along, MC directs him to check the trending searches on his phone. Raiwan browses through the results, bewildered by headlines describing an angel appearing and transporting people to another world. MC clarifies that only their souls were taken, not their physical bodies. Rattled, Raiwan questions if MC was among those taken, to which MC confirms, elaborating that he narrowly survived by slaying 100 goblins. Concerned for MC's well-being, Raiwan asks if he sustained any injuries. MC dismisses Raiwan's worry, but Raiwan insists, stating that MC is his only family now. In his thoughts, Raiwan reflects on MC's resilience after their parents' passing, recognizing him as a pillar of strength. However, he acknowledges the disparity between inner strength and facing physical threats like goblins, especially considering MC's lack of physical prowess. With a reassuring smile, MC addresses Raiwan's thoughts, explaining that the other world operates with a stats system similar to that of games, rendering their physical conditions irrelevant. This revelation eases Raiwan's concerns, prompting him to inquire if that's truly how it works. MC confirms, and then teasingly remarks that Raiwan might have a different opinion after witnessing what's to come. Perplexed, Raiwan asks for clarification, demanding to know what MC means by that. In response, MC invites Raiwan to follow him if he wants to find out, but Raiwan refuses to budge until MC discloses their destination, earnestly requesting an explanation beforehand. Halting in his tracks, MC gazes back at Raiwan, noticing the wound on his hand. With a somber tone, he utters the name Bang Taegyu, leaving Raiwan stunned. MC reveals their destination, Bang Taegyu's hideout, the individual who bullies Raiwan. The MC reveals that Bang Taegyu has been harassing him, shocking Raiwan. Raiwan, muttering to himself, asks how the MC knows about it. Instead of answering, the MC retorts, asking if Raiwan really thought he wouldn't find out. Concerned, Raiwan reflects that he didn't want to make it obvious because his older brother is already struggling. While Raiwan is lost in thought, the MC silently apologizes and explains with a frown that he only discovered the truth a few hours after returning from the first round. While he was sleeping, Raiwan had stepped out, and the MC was awakened by a phone call from someone asking if he was the guardian of student Raiwan, urgently requesting him to come to the hospital. Rushing out of the house, the MC found that after the incident, Raiwan had returned blind, having been beaten up by Bang Taegyu. Feeling weak and foolish for failing to protect his younger brother, the MC looks directly at Raiwan, silently apologizes again, and reassures him that he won't let anyone bother him again. In a warehouse, a man is kicked to the ground by a blonde guy, who swears at him, demanding to know why they haven't each brought 200,000 won. As the man groans in pain, the blonde guy angrily asks why they aren't responding and if they think his words are meaningless. In his rage, the blonde guy stomps on the man while his lackeys stand by, praising him. One lackey comments on his ruthlessness, even towards losers, while another quietly notes that it's no wonder the seniors from the other school also grovel to him. The bald guy adds that no matter what happens, they shouldn't mess around with Taegyu. Walking towards his lackeys, Taegyu complains about his failed plan to buy a motorcycle with today's money, griping about how useless his subordinates are. Cracking his neck, Taegyu glares at one of his lackeys and asks if there's anywhere they can get money from. The frightened lackey stammers, repeating Taegyu's question. Taegyu affirms and demands they think of a solution. The lackeys, hands on their chins, start to ponder. After a few moments, the bald guy gets an idea. Approaching Taegyu, he suggests targeting Taegyu's errand boy, describing him as the tall, curly-haired one, and wonders why Taegyu hasn't called him yet. With a smirk, Taegyu recalls Raiwan's name and remarks that he was planning to call him today anyway, adding that Raiwan needs to get beaten up a bit for the new year. As Taegyu turns around, the bold guy behind him tells another lackey that they can get money from Raiwan. The other lackey replies that it will work out. Hearing this, Taegyu turns his head and says that Raiwan is a complete bum. The bold guy asks what he means. Taegyu explains that even after getting completely beaten up by him, Raiwan couldn't bring a single penny and lives in some shabby place too. The lackeys, frowning, find it hard to believe Raiwan is broke. Taegyu adds that Raiwan also doesn't have parents and lives with his brother, but before he can say more, he notices something. The bold guy questions what is wrong as the other guys look at the entrance in shock. MC walks through the entrance with a fixed gaze, with Raiwan fearfully following behind him. Taegyu and his lackeys, confirming it is MC and his brother, smirk with malice. Taegyu steps forward and remarks, "Speak of the devil," then corrects himself, saying they aren't the devil but bastards. In a sudden change of mood, Taegyu angrily shouts Raiwan's name, calling him a bastard. Raiwan, standing next to MC, apologizes shakily. Taegyu, annoyed, wonders who MC might be, calling him a bastard and finding his expression irritating. With his hands in his pockets, Taegyu asks Raiwan who the guy beside him is and if he brought another errand boy because he thought he'd be bored. Raiwan tries to reply but is too shaken to speak. Before Raiwan can mutter any more words, MC, with a cold smirk, tells Taegyu that he is Raiwan's brother. Taegyu, excited, cracks his knuckles, reminding Raiwan that he told him to watch his mouth, yet he tattled. He continues, saying that both Raiwan and MC are going to be dead today. Taegyu looks at his minions and tells them to go forward. Smiling, they all walk towards MC and his brother. One of them, while tucking up his sleeves, remarks that the world has gotten better now that Taegyu has an errand boy who defies him. The guy in front of him asks Raiwan if MC is good at fighting as he approaches MC. As the guy gets closer, he bends down, gesturing about their height, and asks if they should really fight. Before he can say another word, MC punches him directly in the face, sending him tumbling to the ground in pain, shocking the others. One guy prepares a punch and launches at MC, only to miss as MC evades it and punches him on the cheek, sending him flying towards some barrels. The first guy who got punched gets up and swears at MC, asking how he dares to punch him. The bald guy comes at MC with a punch, yelling for him to die, but before they can strike, MC punches them straight in the face, making them fall to the ground and moan in pain. Watching this unfold, Taegyu laughs maniacally, thinking that MC is just a nerd who must have learned boxing somewhere. Taegyu confidently walks towards MC, calling out to him and telling MC that he must be acting out like this because he learned boxing somewhere. As he stands in front of MC, looking down on him, he continues, remarking that MC must not have learned the importance of weight class in boxing. MC responds calmly, telling him that he must not have watched the news. Taegyu, irritated, asks angrily what news he's talking about. MC, disappointed, looks away from Taegyu, which further annoys him. Taegyu lunges at MC, preparing to punch him and shouting to know what news MC was talking about. MC effortlessly dodges the strike, frustrating Taegyu even more. Taegyu continues to throw punches and kicks, but MC dodges and evades all his attacks. Taegyu, unable to land a hit, starts calling MC at the flying squirrel bastard and grows increasingly tired. Breathing heavily and clenching his fists, Taegyu wonders why he can't land a hit on MC. Before Taegyu can catch his breath, MC prepares a punch, telling Taegyu that if he had watched the news, he would have known better than to come at a player like him. MC punches Taegyu right on the cheek, sending him tumbling back. After a few moments, Taegyu regains his footing and launches at MC again, calling him a fucking lunatic. As Taegyu throws his punch, MC evades, leaving Taegyu wondering where he went. When Taegyu tries to look back, he gets punched in the face again, making him step back. Holding his face, Taegyu tells MC that he could knock him out with a single punch, but before he can continue, he coughs out his broken teeth. Staring at his fallen teeth in his palm, Taegyu screams and threatens to kill MC. He tries to punch MC again, telling him to die, but MC evades and grabs hold of his wrist, shocking Taegyu. MC punches Taegyu in the face twice, making him tumble and groan in pain as his lackeys watch in disbelief. Looking back at MC with a disheveled face, Taegyu, in his head, thinks that MC is deliberately targeting his face. Still looking at MC as he stands behind Taegyu, smiling with one hand in his pocket, Taegyu concludes that MC is a sly little piece of shit, and if he could just land one punch. He launches towards MC again, preparing to punch him, saying please, but before he can get close, MC kicks him, sending him flying into the wall. As MC walks towards Taegyu, who is moaning in pain, he calls out his name and coldly asks if it hurts. MC remembers that even after regressing so many times, he can't forget his emotions from that day, vowing to never experience that horrendous hell again. As MC walks closer to Taegyu, Taegyu tries to get up, holding his neck and coughing, pleading with MC to not come close and to stop. MC gets down to him, holding his hands, which confuses Taegyu. MC tells him that he shouldn't have messed with his brother as he breaks Taegyu's fingers. Taegyu looks down at his hands in shock, realizing that his fingers are broken, and screams in pain. But before he can get over the pain of his other hand, MC grabs his right hand, and realizing what will happen, Taegyu screams for MC to stop. But before he can plead anymore, MC cracks his other fingers, scaring away the other lackey who was watching. Raiwan, unable to handle the sight anymore, looks away in horror as he hears Taegyu's screams. MC gets up, looking down on Taegyu, and tells him that if he touches his brother again, he knows what will happen. Taegyu, crying in pain, mumbles that he won't touch him. MC smiles and remarks that's how it should be, continuing while grabbing Taegyu's hands again, stating that you never know when Taegyu will change his mind. So, breaking his wrist, MC remarks that he has to make sure as Taegyu screams in pain and agony, the sound echoing from outside the hideout they were in. A little while after, as both brothers walk in the street, Raiwan nervously calls out to MC, asking him how he did that to those guys and if he had learned martial arts or something. MC looks back at him, asking if he hadn't read the articles properly and explaining that players can use their abilities in the real world as well. Raiwan asks MC how, to which he manifests a golden aura that turns into a blade, surprising Raiwan, who remarks that a knife came out of thin air. MC asks Raiwan if it's fascinating and explains that they can even summon weapons from the other world like this. Raiwan asks if those quick movements just now were his otherworld powers too, and mentions that he even dodged Bang Taegyu's punches. MC replies that it was because his agility stat is at 11, which Raiwan questions, asking if it's like in-game stats, to which MC confirms exactly. MC tells Raiwan to think of it as 3 for a normal adult and 10 for an athlete. Raiwan asks MC what happens if he levels up later, to which he shrugs and tells him that he doesn't know and that he had never gotten to that level before. In his thoughts, MC remarks that of course, that was a lie, as he doesn't plan on telling Raiwan that he is a regressor. In his 11th regression, he revealed everything to him, and a player kidnapped Raiwan. MC took revenge, but he doesn't want his brother to endure such indignity because of him. Moreover, in future fights between players, he needs to be ready to protect Raiwan above all else. As MC looks at his brother, Raiwan's stomach grumbles, and MC asks him if he wants to get breakfast at the convenience store, confirming if he's hungry, to which Raiwan replies with a yeah. Inside the convenience store, Raiwan asks MC where he's going as the instant noodles are the other way. MC, walking towards an ATM, tells Raiwan to wait just a second. As MC inserts his card into the ATM, he checks his cherished savings balance, totaling 133,000 won. Withdrawing the money, Raiwan asks him why he withdrew so much cash, to which MC, holding the money, replies that it's because he had to use it somewhere. MC asks Raiwan how about they choose something from this section, to which Raiwan replies that there's only pricey stuff here, as all of the items are over 5,000 won. MC reassures him, telling him that it's okay and that he should eat all he wants today, asking Raiwan if it's New Year's and if he is still going to eat instant noodles. Raiwan, hesitant, asks MC if they will have money left for their expenses, to which he replies that they will and tells him to choose something. With a blushful smile, Raiwan picks up a food item and tells MC that they should eat this grilled red chili paste pork belly, as he'd wanted to try this so much. MC, with a warm smile, tells Raiwan that they should go to a proper restaurant and eat all they want soon, asking him how about some hanwoo. Raiwan giggles and tells MC that they can't afford hanwoo and that he's more than satisfied with what he just got. In his thoughts, MC tells Raiwan to wait just for a few days, as after that, he'll make sure that Raiwan gets all the meat he wants so much that he gets tired of it. Raiwan grabs a slice of the meat and adds it to the rice, remarking with a cute face that it is tasty. He tries to thank MC, but as MC stands up, he asks if he is going somewhere, to which MC replies for him to wait there. As MC walks away, Raiwan looks at him with concerning eyes, and after a while, he slams a pen on the table, shocking Raiwan, who asks if he withdrew all the money to buy Lotto. MC affirms, and Raiwan asks him how many tickets he got, to which he replies that he got 20. Raiwan, shocked, asks MC why he would spend 100,000 won on lottery tickets when he doesn't even know if he will win. MC calmly tells Raiwan that he will find out, while he looks over his shoulders and asks what he is doing in concern. He continues, asking why he would mark all of them one after another. MC, looking back at Raiwan, replies that he's marking all of them because they are the winning numbers. In their house, MC and Raiwan sit around a table holding their phones, watching the 1049th Lotto lottery draw. The reporter announces the start of the draw as Raiwan bites his nails in anticipation, thinking they are screwed and telling his brother that he blew away those 100,000 won. The reporter announces that the balls are turning, and Raiwan, still depressed, remarks that it would have been better to just spend that much money on some tasty food instead. Seeing this, MC asks Raiwan to stop biting his nails as the reporter announces the lucky numbers. The first lucky number is 3, the second lucky number is 18, the third lucky number is 9, and the fourth lucky number is 38. Raiwan, still watching the reporter announce the lucky numbers, slowly stops biting his nails in shock as they continue revealing the lucky numbers. The reporter summarizes the winning numbers for the 1049th Lotto, revealing that the numbers 3, 18, 9, 38, 1, and the bonus number being 5 match the receipt that Raiwan is holding. Raiwan, with shock and excitement, shouts that it is crazy and asks if they really won first prize. With tears of joy filling his eyes, Raiwan asks his brother to pinch his cheeks, to which MC replies for him to pinch them himself. Raiwan, still holding the phone, asks MC if it is a dream, to which MC replies with a gentle smile, asking if Raiwan wants it to be a dream. Raiwan reluctantly shakes his head, telling MC no, as he never wants this to be a dream. MC tells Raiwan that he shouldn't worry, assuring him that it isn't a dream. Raiwan, still needing confirmation, asks again if it really isn't a dream. MC, with a bashful smile, confirms to Raiwan that it isn't a dream. Raiwan, holding the lottery ticket, stands up and shouts with joy, announcing that they won first prize. Seeing this, MC asks Raiwan to lower his voice so the neighbors don't hear, making Raiwan quickly fall silent. MC, smiling, asks Raiwan if he is really that happy, to which Raiwan responds enthusiastically that he is and asks MC if he is as well. MC nods, saying he is happy too, and recalls that when he first won the lottery, he also shouted with excitement. However, after winning dozens of times, it has become more of a routine or annual event for him. After regressing, MC needs to quickly secure some cash because the economy is faltering with 900 million deaths, and upcoming item trades among players will require cash. Back in the present, Raiwan, holding all the tickets, is stunned that they won first place in all 100 games and asks how much the winnings amount to. MC replies that he isn't sure but thinks to himself that it is probably a world-changing jackpot of the highest level. MC arrives in front of the non-high-up bank and walks through the door, thinking that because he's won the first prize dozens of times before, he's not nervous at all. MC approaches the counter and tells the receptionist he is there to collect his first prize winnings. Hearing this, the receptionist congratulates MC and thinks, despite being a lotto prize winner, he just looks like a student. Finishing his thought, the receptionist asks MC where he bought the lotto ticket. MC replies that he bought it from QS24 Yeonwi store. The receptionist, shocked, recalls a recent conversation where someone mentioned that 115 games had first prize winners this time, with 100 of them from the QS24 Yeonwi store. The person had told him that if anyone claimed to have bought their tickets there, he should notify the bank's president, as that person would become a VVIP customer. Lost in his thoughts, the receptionist is brought back to reality by MC calling out to him. Apologizing, the receptionist asks MC to wait for a bit, to which MC agrees. A little while later, a man dressed in a suit approaches and thanks MC for waiting, introducing himself as Jeon Junho, the president of Non-Hyup Bank, and shakes MC's hand, and MC replies that his name is Ryumin. The president congratulates MC on winning the first prize in the lotto and suggests they move to a more comfortable location, offering to accompany MC personally. Moments later, they arrive at the lottery ticket business team area, where the president guides MC into a room. Upon entering, a woman stands up and bows respectfully to both the president and MC. As she bows, she wonders if MC might be the president's son. The president introduces MC as their VVIP lucky customer who has come to collect his winnings, instructing the woman to ensure MC is comfortable. The woman can hardly believe it and privately questions if MC truly won the first prize in 100 games and is now a VVIP. The president reassures MC that he can relax completely, for which MC thanks him. Despite her nervousness, the woman composes herself and greets MC, offering him coffee, juice, or green tea. Before she can finish, MC politely declines and expresses his priority to collect his winnings first. As the woman takes a seat, she asks if she can inspect his winning lotto tickets, to which MC hands them over. Examining the tickets with astonishment, the woman cannot believe that all 100 tickets are stamped with the same numbers, wondering to herself if MC can predict the future. After completing her check, she informs MC that the verification is complete and confirms that he indeed won first prize in all 100 games. MC then inquires about the amount of his winnings, prompting the woman to stammer nervously as MC observes calmly. Finally, the woman manages to reveal that his winnings total approximately 22.5 billion won. Excluding taxes, the winnings amounted to 15 billion won, and after receiving the money, everything went smoothly. Initially, MC found a house for them to move into. In the afternoon, he opened a stock account in anticipation of Bitcoin surging fivefold next month, planning to invest the proceeds in stocks. Later that day, MC asked his brother Raiwan what he thought about the house they had finalized the day before, inquiring if he liked it. Raiwan replied enthusiastically, expressing his delight and noting it was the largest and most luxurious house he had ever seen, albeit only in pictures. MC assured Raiwan it was the best option available for an immediate move. Reflecting on their decisions, Raiwan asked MC why he had signed a lease instead of purchasing the house outright, given their substantial funds. MC explained that aside from 1 billion won, he had invested the rest in Bitcoin, which astonished and left Raiwan speechless. MC approached him, holding his shoulders, and reassured Raiwan that his actions were deliberate and planned. MC went on to explain that they could always rely on winning more from the lottery, citing a dream where he had seen a set of 4 numbers, which excited Raiwan as it was a renowned lottery number dream. Excitedly, Raiwan shook MC and asked if he remembered all the numbers from the dream, emphasizing their importance. MC, being shaken back and forth, assured Raiwan that he wouldn't forget them. As he freed himself from Raiwan's grasp, MC couldn't help but wonder how many times his brother had done this, knowing he couldn't possibly forget those numbers. Heading towards the door, MC suggested to Raiwan that they go out for lunch and that he should get ready. Confused, Raiwan asked why he needed to get ready and where they were going. It dawned on MC that he hadn't informed Raiwan yet, so he turned back and told him they were moving today. Meanwhile, in the neighborhood, Yeomin punched the wall with all his might. Surveying the damage, he smirked, pleased with the outcome of his punch. Remembering his decision to invest heavily in strength stats and equipping the muscular strength rune that doubled his strength, Yeomin clenched his fists again in disbelief at his newfound power. Smirking at the results of his punches, he mused that even Tyson would envy his nuclear fists and decided it was enough testing. Looking down at his clenched fist, he resolved to move on to the real challenges ahead. After a while, Yeomin arrived at MC's house and began knocking on the door loudly, calling out his name. Getting no response, he muttered to himself, doubting that MC would get beaten up, but was now ignoring phone calls and hiding away. With an angered expression, Yeomin recalled the New Year's celebration incident where MC had arrogantly brushed him off, and he resolved not to let it slide. Growing increasingly frustrated, veins bulging with anger, Yeomin declared that MC would meet his end by Yeomin's hands. Continuing to pound on the door and twist the handle forcefully, Yeomin remarked bitterly that even though they were both players, a loser was still a loser and MC needed to learn some manners. After giving the door a relentless beating, Yeomin paused, convinced that MC was hiding inside, and demanded to know why he wouldn't come out. Sarcastically, Yeomin muttered that his bastard friend wasn't home and that he would leave now, leaning against the door in frustration. Through gritted teeth, Yeomin vowed that he would break down the door at the sound of a breath from inside. Before he could finish his thought, he was interrupted by an elderly man calling him a student. The old man, standing on the stairs, asked Yeomin what he was doing at someone else's door. Irritated, Yeomin retorted, questioning if the man owned the house. The old man calmly affirmed and adjusted his glasses, surprising Yeomin. The old man inquired about Yeomin's purpose there and asked if he was visiting a friend. Confused for a moment, Yeomin replied that MC was his friend and requested the old man to open the door. Yeomin explained that he suddenly couldn't reach his friend and asked for assistance. Before he could finish, the old man sadly informed Yeomin that the house was now empty, and the student who lived there had moved away today. Shocked, Yeomin demanded to know where MC had gone, but the old man could only say he wasn't sure of the new location. Furious, Yeomin clenched his fists, cursing MC as a bastard for running away without a word. Meanwhile, MC and his brother arrived at their new residence inside a massive skyscraper. Raiwan gazed up in awe, commenting on how tall it was. Upon entering, he was fascinated by the revolving door at the entrance. As MC handed over an access card, Raiwan continued to be mesmerized by the amenities, marveling at the security measures when MC underwent identity verification. Inside the lift, Raiwan expressed his amazement at the place, and upon reaching their floor, MC instructed Raiwan to follow him. Arriving at their new home, Raiwan, still amazed by everything, asked MC how big the place was. MC replied that it was 100 pyong, approximately 3,558 square feet, which stunned Raiwan. Walking into their spacious home, Raiwan questioned if it wasn't too big for just the two of them. MC explained that he had plenty of money, so they might as well live in a place like this. Curious about the cost, Raiwan asked how much MC paid. MC revealed he had paid a deposit of 5 billion won, around £2.9 million, and a monthly rent of 22 million won, around £12,600, which shocked Raiwan. Until recently, even spending 5,000 won on a convenience store lunch had made his heart race. Still reeling from the amount spent on the house, Raiwan voiced his concern that it was too expensive and they should have chosen a cheaper place. MC countered, explaining they needed to spend this much for the excellent security. MC recalled that during the first month, players often fell into hypnolepsy when they were most vulnerable. Natural disasters like fires or earthquakes, as well as assassins hired by other players, posed significant threats. Therefore, players needed to prepare for these dangers in the safest place possible to ensure survival in the other world. No matter how successful one was in the other world, dying in reality meant it was all over. After checking out the house, MC asked Raiwan if he liked it, to which Raiwan enthusiastically replied that he loved it. Hearing his brother's answer, MC smiled and expressed relief that Raiwan was happy. Suddenly, Raiwan's expression turned somber, and he looked down with a frown, apologizing to MC. He explained that next month, he would be dragged to the other world again to fight, but he had been so happy and thoughtless. MC gently slapped Raiwan's shoulder and asked him why he was feeling down, questioning if Raiwan thought he wouldn't return from the next round. Feeling a sting from his brother's concern, Raiwan replied that he was just saying it as a precaution. MC reassured Raiwan not to worry unnecessarily and suggested he go downstairs to eat, mentioning a delicious Korean restaurant on the shopping mall's second floor. Raiwan nodded in agreement, saying okay. Later, MC checked his phone and noted that Yo-min must have discovered he had moved. Deciding to ignore him since they wouldn't bump into each other in reality anyway, he pondered the uncertainties of the other world. The next morning, after waking up and seeing Raiwan, MC yawned and asked where his brother was heading. Raiwan replied that he was up early to pick up rice cakes he had ordered. Confused, MC questioned why Raiwan had ordered rice cakes, noting it was something he had never done before. He reflected that regressing didn't mean repeating the same situations, especially since Raiwan had never bought rice cakes previously. Curious, MC asked Raiwan why he had bought rice cakes. Raiwan explained that since they had moved, they needed to give some rice cakes around to be good neighbors. MC nodded thoughtfully, reassuring Raiwan that being good neighbors was a positive thing and praising his thoughtfulness. Raiwan grinned excitedly, affirming his decision. Raiwan suggested to MC that he take care of distributing the rice cakes so that Raiwan could rest. However, MC insisted that they greet their new neighbors together, suggesting they wait while he changed. After a short while, they rang a doorbell and were greeted by a tenant asking who they were. Raiwan explained that they were the new neighbors and had come to introduce themselves. A lady emerged and greeted both brothers warmly, noting their resemblance and guessing correctly that they were siblings. Raiwan smiled and confirmed, holding out the rice cakes. He offered them to the lady, suggesting she enjoy them while they were still warm. Gratefully accepting the gift, the lady thanked them. Raiwan bowed politely and bid her farewell, while MC mentioned they were from Unit 4302 and had moved in the previous day. The brothers continued their rounds, visiting every door in their area, handing out rice cakes, and wishing their neighbors well. After finishing, they entered the elevator. Raiwan remarked to MC that there was only one house left and encouraged him to stay strong as they couldn't tire now. MC agreed, emphasizing they should complete their greetings and then head home to rest. After reaching the penthouse floor, MC informed Raiwan that it encompassed both the 44th and 45th floors. Raiwan reacted with shock, realizing the scale of the residence and suggesting that the occupants must be extremely wealthy. MC speculated that they were likely the child of a conglomerate or a celebrity just as Raiwan rang the doorbell. When there was no immediate answer, Raiwan commented that they might not be home. MC decided to ring the doorbell again, but Raiwan, feeling flustered, suggested they might not be there and should leave. Before they could depart, both brothers noticed something, causing Raiwan to turn back in surprise and exclaim that the person approaching was actress Seo Arin. Looking at the confused Arin, Raiwan commented on how pretty she was, likening her to an angel. Meanwhile, MC remained unsure of what was happening or who she was. Arin's bodyguard intervened, placing his hands in front of MC and Raiwan, blocking them and standing between them and Arin. He questioned their presence, asking if they were her fans. MC, staying composed, calmly explained that they had just moved into the floor below. As the bodyguard listened, Raiwan stepped forward and offered him the rice cake. The bodyguard asked if they were simply here to introduce themselves. Raiwan, smiling and trying to hand over the cake, insisted they take it. However, the bodyguard interrupted, declining politely on behalf of Arin, stating she didn't eat such things. This left both brothers confused. As the bodyguard escorted Arin past MC and Raiwan, he tapped his card against the door lock and opened it for her. Arin hesitantly entered, casting a sad glance back at them. Observing the bodyguard's demeanor, MC remarked that he didn't know who they were, but found the bodyguard rather rude. Turning to Raiwan, MC advised him not to let such people bother him. Raiwan, still fixated on the encounter, expressed excitement, asking MC if he saw what happened and how amazing it was. Perplexed, MC asked Raiwan what he meant. Leaning in closer, Raiwan reiterated that he had seen her too, emphasizing that she was Seo Arin. Still uncertain, MC looked at Raiwan and asked who Seo Arin was. Seo Arin sat on her sofa, scrolling through her phone, her thoughts heavy with recent news about actors dying and the survival rates of those taken to the other world. Her friend Hong Seon-ah messaged her about Goong Seojin's death, and Arin confirmed she had heard. Seon-ah suggested they attend the funeral together, and Arin agreed, acknowledging how much Seojin had cared for them. Setting her phone down, Arin reflected on how even celebrities like Seojin couldn't survive the challenges of the first round without the protective room. She sighed, recognizing her own fame and musing that she would surely make headlines if she were to die. Glancing at the TV, she pondered whether she would have achieved her current status without sponsorships and the luxurious penthouse provided for her. Lost in thought, Arin was startled when her bodyguard approached and asked what she was thinking about. Startled, Arin initially dismissed it as nothing. However, her bodyguard sat next to her and reassured her it was okay to share, always ready to listen. Reluctantly, Arin admitted she was contemplating the state of the world and how she would survive the next round. Meeting her gaze firmly, the bodyguard comforted her not to worry about what was to come, reminding her that she had him for support. Looking away, he noted she worried too much and should simply rely on him. Arin smiled softly, accepting his reassurances and asking rhetorically who else she could trust if not him. As Seo Arin gazed at her bodyguard, her thoughts drifted back to when the company first assigned him to her. Initially wary, she had felt he was there to monitor her every move. However, his crucial support in the other world had saved her from certain death in the first round. Reflecting on their past together, her bodyguard assured her he would protect her no matter what, urging her not to give up. Arin smiled gratefully, thanking him for his encouraging words. Changing the subject, Arin mentioned their new downstairs neighbors and how the rice cakes they had brought looked delicious. Without hesitation, her bodyguard warned her against indulging, cautioning that she would gain weight. Arin defended their gesture as kindness, but her bodyguard dismissed it, convinced they expected something in return. He believed they would have become a nuisance if she had accepted their gift. Observing the brothers, Arin noted that one looked barely over 15 and speculated he must have slain 100 goblins to survive, too. The bodyguard responded indifferently, assuming he probably had. Arin felt a pang of guilt, marveling at his composure despite enduring such harsh trials. Her bodyguard sighed, remarking that killing 100 goblins wasn't difficult and those who couldn't were simply incompetent. Pale and introspective, Arin thought her bodyguard was skilled even by the otherworld standards, though not as much as MC Black Scythe. Watching him, she almost pitied the goblins, wondering what job he held in the real world. She believed she could survive the second round if she were with him, wrapping her arms around herself. She She considered herself fortunate to have survived the first round, but questioned her chances of making it through the next. In the quiet of their home, Raiwan greeted MC with a smile as he returned. MC casually revealed that he had received around 15 billion won, prompting Raiwan to exclaim in disbelief, questioning whether the bank had not questioned him given it was his fourth win. MC reminisced about how even the bank's president was shocked at his repeated luck, recalling their conversation where he mentioned the dream that led to his wins. Raiwan, stunned into silence, eventually asked if MC planned to invest it all in Bitcoin again. MC confirmed his intentions, citing that his investment had grown to 150 billion won. Concerned, Raiwan suggested selling some, fearing a drop in Bitcoin's value, but MC reassured him it wasn't the right time. He comforted Raiwan, assuring him that he would handle everything and suggested they have lunch together. They enjoyed a luxurious meal and later returned home after shopping in the evening. As the night deepened, at 11:55 p.m., MC sat on his bed, preparing himself mentally. Raiwan, holding MC's hands tightly, expressed his worry, pleading for MC to return safely. MC, reassuringly, mentioned seeing himself overpowering even Bang Taegyu, trying to calm Raiwan's fears. Despite his efforts, Raiwan remained anxious, holding MC's hands tightly. MC gently patted Raiwan's head, urging him to sleep instead of worrying needlessly, promising he'd be awake when Raiwan woke. With their heartfelt exchange done, MC gradually drifted off to sleep. Soon, he found himself in the other world, transported to a forest, just as all the other players were simultaneously whisked away to begin their next challenge. As the players found themselves in the new location of the other world, they began to comment on their sudden arrival, some expressing displeasure at being back. Among them, one player recognized MC, referring to him as Black Scythe, the player who had ranked first in the previous round. MC noticed the wary gazes and the distance others kept from him, realizing that his reputation had preceded him here as well. He scanned the surroundings, expecting the appearance of someone in particular. Just then, another angel materialized before them, asking if all the players had arrived. Some players noted that this angel was different from the one who oversaw the first round, prompting questions about what had happened. The new angel explained that the previous angel in charge had met with an accident and couldn't fulfill her duties, leaving the players bewildered. Despite the unsettling news, the angel reassured them not to panic, smiling reassuringly. However, her demeanor quickly shifted as she menacingly chuckled, announcing that she would now guide them through the quests of the second round. Spreading her wings, she prepared to brief them on what lay ahead. That'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe and comment if you want more of this series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.